Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Bagadon at Stock Market Caddy, and today is Saturday, December 9th at about 9:15 a.m. I'd like to take a moment and introduce you to the SMC Nicklaus timing model. What is the Nicklaus timing model? And before that, who the devil is Bagadon at Stock Market Caddy? So let me just take a moment. Folks, I am not a broker. I am not a financial advisor. I am not making specific recommendations for you to do anything with your money. I am not making any claims. I don't manage anyone else's money. I am not from Wall Street. Far from it. In fact, I was wearing a surgical mask before it was fashionable. For some 20 some odd years, I taught surgeons how to work with some of the most advanced surgical instrumentation of the day. That's a story in and of itself. And folks, I never had a biology degree. Go figure. But I was always interested in the markets. And the surgeons were interested in the markets too. And I always had it in the back of my mind. I wonder if there would be a way to time and trade the markets in a surgical precision way. You see, folks, surgeons don't wing it. They don't approach their job when they go into surgery haphazardly. They're not changing from one thing to another to another to another. They know exactly what they're going to do. And they're out to get an outcome, the best outcome they can get for their patient. Stock Market Caddy is a mentoring service for those traders, and yes, even investors, who want to learn how to trade and time the markets, what we call mechanically, robotically, and robotically hedge. The reason why our performance is of no value to you is because our members rely on themselves. We are all about teaching and empowering individuals to trade their own game. Think about it. When you're playing golf, or whenever you're doing whatever you love, are you really that interested in what someone else is doing or accomplishing? Or are you only interested in what you're doing? To that end, we make available on a monthly basis, or let me say this, on a nightly basis, for all of our monthly members, this particular tool, which is called the SMC Nicklaus timing model. The Nicklaus timing model does three things. The first thing that the Nicklaus timing model does is that it analyzes the data of each indice, namely the Russell, the NASDAQ, these are futures contracts on each of these markets, the Dow, and the ES, the S&P. There's a mathematical model that is analyzing the data on a daily chart for each of those four markets. But that's not all. Secondly, the algo is written to analyze at the exact same time the data of the VIX, the fair gauge, of what is happening in the options market. Now, none of this can be seen on a chart visually, or I would show you. It is a black box, not by design. We're not trying to hide anything. It's just that it's a black box to us too. It is a mathematical model. And we're not done. The third thing that it does is that it analyzes the data of the 10-year yield. From this algo, it will generate on a daily basis, not intraday, daily, it will generate a signal to either be long or short the markets. Now, does it get them all right? No. But the model is not emotional. And if it gets it wrong, it will change direction. There is an additional aspect to Nicklaus, that we have a confirming signal, yet a fourth step. And that fourth step is it confirms using the VIX futures itself. This is the VIX market. And what we want to see ideally is the VIX in the opposite direction of the indices. Now, what might a member to Stock Market Caddy do with this information? One, they could use a single mini contract, and if they had, going back to October 30th, 31st, they would be up some $82,000. Now, it does take considerable capital to put on one mini contract overnight in each of these markets. There are most certainly folks that have. If you had used 10 minis, it would be $820,000. If a person had used micros, a micro contract, 1/10 to reduce the margin, they wouldn't be up 82,000, they would be up 8,200. Yet, we have other members that might choose to trade just one market. We have other members that might choose to use options on all four markets or maybe just one market. We have other members that might choose to use this as a barometer of how they want to be favoring the market on whatever else it is they're doing. Maybe they're buying call options and put options. When Nicklaus is in a bullish phase, they want to lean on the long side. How would that have done, I ask you, if you had been doing that since October 30th? Now think back to October 30th. How bullish were all the stock pimps back then? All the folks chasing the economic data, quad 1, quad 2, and all that nonsense. You see, folks, from our perspective, we do not equate the economy to the market or the market to the economy. The market is the market. And further, I consider myself the most ignorant person in this market, because we want to be able to track money flow. I'm not interested in anyone's opinion, including my own. I merely want to be able to track money flow and be able to move left or right, up or down. Now, the stock pimps out there on Wall Street and Madison Avenue, they're very, very good at what they do. They are asset gatherers. They want you to send them your money. They are smarter than you. Not. They will tell you it is impossible to time the market. Nobody can time the market. They will tell you that it is not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. If you haven't realized, all of their sayings serve their purpose of gathering your money. Folks, it's garbage. It is nonsense. We time the market using the timing model of Nicklaus, and we trade intraday as well. If this interests you, be sure to visit our website, send us your questions, and if you still have questions and you want to inquire about how you might become an annual member and get these tools on your desktop so that you can program the alerts yourself, not rely on us, but you could program the alerts to come to your own phone and take control over this part of your life and trade your own game. Thanks so much. We wish you the best. I'm Bagadon, and this is StockMarketCaddy.com.